Invincible has finally debuted on Amazon Prime. The first 3 episodes are up, and I'm going to review the first one right now. Hello everyone, welcome to Invincible Central. My name's MJ and let's review Invincible. This is going to be no spoilers and this is episode 1. So first of all, let me say that I am sort of blown away. I'm a massive fan of Invincible in the comics. If you're watching this and you yourself read the comics, then you'll know exactly what I mean. And if you're completely new to all of the world of Invincible, then hopefully you'll be surprised and happy with how good this new little show is. Right off the bat, there's quite a few changes from the comic books. So the comic books have some very specific storylines that they get through first, and the first episode of the TV show is quite wildly different. I mean, sure, there's some of the same beats there, and some of the storylines are brought a little bit forward than they are in the comics, and that's brilliant. I think the opening scene is excellent. Not only the way that it sort of gives some personality and you sort of get some understanding for the just the day-to-day people that actually live in the world of Invincible. Not only that, but also we get some really great action scenes with characters that actually we don't see too much of in the comic books. The action is brilliant, like I say, with the opening scene. It is an action scene and it does a fantastic and creative job of utilising all of the different powers of the superheroes that are featured. Along with great action, the show has got some brilliant character moments and it does some excellent work at the pacing. It seems like there's a really good balance between the action and the more emotional scenes, and those emotional scenes are just as great a value because they are voiced so well and they mean so much. The dialogue is great, and like I say, the voice acting here is so good. The main family, Mark, Nolan and Debbie, the 3 of them are amazing, and in fact Stephen Yeun, who plays Invincible, or Mark Grayson, he has got some incredible work here. Like there's one scene in particular where there's like a heightened emotion in the scene and he does a brilliant job. So yeah, I cannot fault any of the voice acting whatsoever. Everyone is perfectly cast. When the first trailers for the show came out, I was a little bit concerned with some of the animation. Some of it looked a little bit cheap, and there are certainly like cost-cutting measures that you do see throughout the episodes. Things like still frames or like wide pan shots, and then you just hear the characters talking, just things like that. But this is a TV show, and it's so huge in scope that I guess they have to do some of these techniques to make some of it a little bit less time to actually produce. But the important thing is, like, all of the action and the in-between stuff, it doesn't feel cheap for long. Basically it feels really good, and there's some really interesting cinematography, some really nice direction here. Of particular note, there is a scene where where Invincible is flying alongside a building and it's got the reflection of him. It looks really nice, and there's lots of little moments like that with the animation, as well as interesting techniques, and visually it does actually look quite different with some of these techniques. Like the lighting looks a little bit different to what I've seen before, and I like it. Another thing that is absolutely brilliant from the first episode, and that having seen the first 3 episodes now is definitely something that runs throughout it, is the varying degrees of violence. This episode ranges from the very low level violence and low amount of blood, right until just what I can only describe as absolutely horrendous levels of violence that is really well conceived. In fact, it's a scene from the comic books that, in the comic books, it has a completely different feel. It's very stark, abrupt and short in the comic books, and that's incredibly impactful and visually super striking. But in the TV show they have extended it out, so what took a minute or less than a minute to actually read is a very long scene in the comics, in the TV show, and it absolutely blew me away. Like, the way that they adapted the scene was incredible, and it was better than the way that the scene was handled in the comics. So that alone, and that was one of the most important scenes in the comics, so that alone bodes incredibly well for this TV show as a whole. So I hope you enjoyed that intro to Invincible. Let me know what you thought of the episode in the comments below. If you're new, do subscribe, because we're going to have reviews up for the 2nd and 3rd episode and beyond. So thanks for watching. See you next time.